Hey, I'm Jonathan with Acoustic Sounds in Salina, Kansas, and today we're going to be going over the new releases for January 9th, 2026. Happy New Year to all of our viewers out there. We hope you had a pleasant holiday season. This week's video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. There just have not been a lot of releases over the holidays, but we do want to start off by talking about the Analog Productions UHQR of Vince Guaraldi's Charlie Brown Christmas. The main reason is there's only a couple hundred copies of this left, and Matt Luthans did a stellar job mastering this from the original analog master tapes. And again, this was pressed at Quality Record Pressings on 200 gram Clarity vinyl. And again, there are 200 or 300 copies left, maybe. New from Analog Productions, though, the Miles Davis Quintet, great prestige recordings. This is a 5 LP box set, and this is something we issued quite a while ago, and now it's back in print. And this is mastered from the original tapes by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio, and is pressed on 180 gram vinyl at 33 1/3 at Quality Record Pressings. And the titles that are included in this box are the new Miles Davis Quintet, Cookin', Relaxin', Workin', and Steamin'. And additionally, from Analog Productions, the first 2 of 10 titles that we are issuing from Fantasy. Initially, we reissued 100 titles a couple decades ago, but this time we're releasing 10 of them in gatefold stout and tip-on jackets as opposed to the direct-to-board that the originals were. And those 2 titles are Gene Ammons, Blue Jean, and Chet Baker in New York. And these are all pressed at Quality Record Pressings this time as opposed to RTI, and are mastered by Kevin Gray and Steve Hoffman at Acoustic Mastering from the original analog tapes. New from the Esoteric Masterpiece Collection, Brahms Piano Concerto No. 2 in B-flat, as well as Sibelius Symphony No. 1. Back in stock this week from Analog Productions, 3 Steely Dan Hybrid Stereo SACDs, Pretzel Logic, Can't Buy a Thrill, and Asia. Up for pre-order, shipping next week from the Chess Records Acoustic Sound series, Chuck Berry, Berry is on Top, and Etta James, At Last. And both of these are mastered by Matthew Luthans at the Mastering Lab from the original analog tapes and will be pressed at Quality Record Pressings. Also shipping next week, January 16th, from the Analog Productions RCA Living Stereo series, Charles Munch and the Boston Symphony Orchestra, Ravel, Daphnis, and Chloe. And this is mastered from the original 2-track master tapes and cut at 45 RPM by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling Sound. And additionally, Fritz Reiner, Richard Strauss, also Sprach Zarathustra. And this is remastered from the original tape and cut at 45 RPM by Bernie Grunman. And shipping January 23rd from the Verve Acoustic Sound series, 2 Jimmy Smith titles, Bashin', The Unpredictable Jimmy Smith, and Organ Grinder Swing. And both of these are all analog mastered from the original tapes by Matthew Luthans at the Mastering Lab and will be pressed at Quality Record Pressings. And then a couple of titles from the Chesky Original Master series, 3 limited edition 1-steps, first shipping January 30th, Valerie Joyce, New York Blue, and then February 6th, Jen Chapin, Revisions, Songs of Stevie Wonder, and February 13th, Dave's True Story, Sex Without Bodies. And all 3 of these will also be available as hybrid stereo SACDs. And then from the Rhino Reserve series, shipping this month, the Porno for Pyro's self-titled album, and this is mastered by Chris Bellman from the original tapes. And then February 6th, we'll see 4 more titles, Sam and Dave, Hold On I'm Comin' in mono, Otis Redding, The Soul Album in mono, and Otis Redding, Pain in My Heart in mono, and Donny Hathaway, Live. And all 4 of these were mastered by Matthew Luthans at the Mastering Lab from the original analog tapes. And then for Mobile Fidelity with an arrival date yet to be announced, The Temptations, Cloud 9, and this is limited to 3,000 numbered copies and will be a 180 gram 45 RPM double album. And then there will be Harry Chapin, Verities and Balderdash, and this will also be limited and numbered to 3,000 copies and will be a 180 gram 33 RPM pressing that will also be available on SACD. Well, that's going to wrap up the new releases this week at Acoustic Sounds for January 9th, 2026. As always, everything you saw in the video today will be available on our website via links in the description below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the email newsletter in the footer of our website. We recommend both to stay the most up-to-date on what's happening at Acoustic Sounds, and follow us on any social media platforms you use. We'll see you next week.
Please like and subscribe for more audiophile content.